Andrew Reece, you grew your letting agency from nothing to 1,700 managed properties in Australia before you started your prop tech firm. Don't want to talk about prop tech today. Want to drill down on your techniques of growing your letting agency, and in particular how you got self-managed landlords. And you actually had a script, didn't you? A script that we've got here, boys and girls.
That's it for everybody.
But I tell you what, there's nothing like when a script is let's do show and tell.
Yep.
You know, when we were children, we were show and tell. Let's do show and tell. So I tell you what, you can be the agent, and I'll be the self-managed landlord, and let us go through the script. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Ring, ring. Go for it.
So I'll be ringing you. So at this stage, the scenario is that you've got a property for chasing a tenant on Gumtree.
Yes.
That's the
So
scenario.
self-managed landlord.
Yep.
Yes. On Gumtree. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the phone call is ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hello. My name's Andrew. I was just calling about the property that you've got for rent on Gumtree.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment.
Excellent. Whereabouts is it?
It's on Smith Street, just down the road from KFC.
Oh, excellent. Okay. When are you next going to show that property? When's your next viewing?
Yeah, I'm there at Saturday lunchtime.
Excellent.
About 1 o'clock.
Great. Well, my name's Andrew. As I said, I'm actually a property manager with prorentals.com.au, and I was wondering at the time while you're showing that particular property, that viewing, can I just drop past? I've got a pack that has helpful hints for landlords like yourself who are trying to find a tenant. And if I can drop that past and say hello.
Okay, let's stop the conversation there. You are introducing yourself. I was impressed that you didn't try and sell me anything, but you're actually giving something. Okay, so you're giving information. Could you even egg that, what you've just said? Could you egg that on a bit? I suppose you could actually, couldn't you?
Oh, very much so, because the key of that is for the first half of the call, you thought I was a tenant calling about your property, okay? So straight away, I'm just Andrew. I want to know a bit about your property. Then the key is to when you're going there next, okay? Because you're already going there, okay, well, you can tag along. And that's the bit. And
that's the magic.
Yes.
Okay, so what sort of hit rate? What sort of yes or no hit
90% hit rate.
No.
Oh, yes. Because, again, in Australia, I'd say, because you need a tenancy agreement, you need a green booklet, you need an entry report. I can bring all those documents to you, which will provide all the information that you need. And I've got 10 points to how to rent a property fast. So I'll bring.
So even if they come back and say, "Well, I've got all that," you can over-egg the pudding and say,
Yes.
"Well, I've got this."
There's 10 points to help you find a
Okay,
tenant
and that's
fast.
just like a booklet or something.
Yeah, it was just a sheet of paper.
Okay.
And so then I'd turn up to the property. Okay. First thing I'd do is I'd walk into the property and say, Chris, it was really hard to find. You should really put a for rent sign out the front, because if you put a for rent sign, people will be able to see it rather than.
Okay, I'll just do that. That's a to let board.
Sorry. Yes.
Don't be worried. It's all right.
Yes.
It's all right. We're translating. It's
That's
fine.
right. That's right. And so a to let board out the front. And then what my favourite part of it is I would then walk in, because when you do a vacate inspection, it's normally, you're going around. But
Okay, so let me just.
Yep.
He's going around an empty property.
Yes, that's correct. To do a what are they called here? They're called
Valuation or an appraisal?
No, exit. So when you're having a tenant move out, you go and check on the property.
Okay, but we're assuming that the tenant's already moved out.
Yes, that's correct. But what I want to do is I'll walk into the property and I'll open the oven door. I'll put my hand on top of the oven and I'll go, "Gee, Chris, that's a bit dirty. You should really get the property a bit clean if you want to try and let it fast." And then I'd walk around and I'd touch the skirting boards. And so what I was really doing was showing the owner.
You're challenging the landlord.
That's correct. You can't rent the property in this state because it's a mess.
Brave.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to remember that most letting agents are very detail-orientated people. They're not salesy people. They don't like to be criticised. That's their biggest fear.
But what I'm doing is I'm showing the owner, if he really wants to let this property fast, he's got to present it better. He needs a for rent sign, and then I've got to make sure that it's clean. Okay. And so then I get to talking how many people have you had through, what sort of price you're after.
So therefore, you're not being nasty about the property. you're actually being truthful.
Yep.
Do you think that almost sideways is on, what's the word I'm trying to look for? It's making the landlord think, whoa, because all of a sudden they think they just go try and sell them, and in fact they're actually
Helping them.
well. And some people have you had anyone kick you out? And
No, the complete opposite, because they're like, oh, okay, well, that probably makes good sense. Because again, I manage 1,700 properties. We need to really make sure they present well. And these are the things you should do. And also your photo on Gumtree that you've got the toilet seat lit up, and you got your sunglasses on the bench. You can stand back and take the photo from here. You just sort of give them hints and help. The real clincher was to then say, if you like, I can compete against you. If you're after £300 a week, my fee's £30. I'll add it on the top. If you find a tenant before I do, you can then manage the property. But if I find someone at $330 and cover my fee, will you engage me as your agent? And so then I'm competing against the owner.
And even if they do rent it quicker, you've now built a relationship up with someone.
Yes.
Clever. And I was just good old fashioned tickling them and making a contact with them, sending them a few great buy-to-let deals. Eventually you'll probably get them if you play the long game.
Yes, and also what you do get is that he goes back to his office, or he has other people who own property, they know that, and they say, oh, I met this guy on the weekend. He was really helpful, because then we used to do this thing called call nights. We'd ring you as a contact and say, hi Chris, how'd you go? You found a tenant, that's great. Is that coming up for rent again? Do you want me to sort of help you? No, it's fine. But do you know anyone that also may need our sort of services? At the moment, we're offering a promotion that if you refer us a property, we're giving you a $400 travel card. If you pass that contact and they become successful, and here's a letter then goes out to them with a call to action date, which is usually the next sort of 60 days. And so even though I never won that business, they know other people that own properties who don't want to manage them themselves. And because to me, growth gets down to two factors. If you're not growing your rent roll, it's because of the fact that you aren't generating enough leads, or you're not converting them. Now, the amount of owner managers there are heaps. So you've got heaps.
Well, they reckon half of properties in the UK are self-managed.
That's right.
This is a cracking prospecting question sheet. Anything else?
On the next page, so if you do have that 10% who says to you, no, I'm not interested, you then just send them a little thank you card for their time, and you can send the pack in the mail to them if you want.
Good stuff. And on the end, it's got some overcoming objections.
Yes.
So let's go through those objections. So here's one. I don't want just anyone in my property.
That is fine. You get the choice of the particular successful applicant. So I will call you and run through who has applied for your property, and you get to choose.
And another is it's cheaper if I manage it myself. I suppose that comes back to what we were doing before.
Yes, that's correct. Or alternatively, I always look at how much is your property worth? Is it worth £300,000-400,000? Do you think that you should make the choice of who manages your property over £30 a week or a month, right?
Great.
And so bringing back that choice. Also, I would take along entry reports to show the owner the details of our work, and also our arrears list to show how good we were at collecting rent. And I do honestly feel, I have a few properties I don't manage myself. I do think only a goose manages their own property, because it's very hard to be impartial.
Of course it is. You get too involved.
Yes.
And finally, objection, is it an exclusive arrangement?
No.
Agreement?
Yeah, because I was quite happy that you could list yourself and against us. And whoever finds the tenant that you approve, then...
I can actually see probably you won't actually get much business on the first one, but as most agents ring up Gumtree landlords and tell them to off, this is a way to get to the property, build, and basically use this first property as a way to build a relationship for the next one or their mate's property.
Correct. STP, see the people. It's the best way to go out and see someone. So on a Saturday, you could go out and see 15 hot prospective landlords who have vacant properties that need tenants fast. 76% of our growth from 31 to 1,756 came to us as a vacant property or a void. So that it gave us the opportunity then to, because we fixed that problem they had, and that is they had no money coming in.
Thank you very much.